Today I'd like to talk to you guys about water supply lines. We all have them in multiple places in our house, but I'd like to be more specific and talk to you about your washer machine water supplies. Now, we probably all walk past them 2 or 3 times a day, and you never check them until there's water on the floor. Now, with this customer, that's what happened. We kept seeing clear water on the floor, and they weren't sure if it was coming from the machine or not. So what you always want to do is time to time inspect these lines and your valves. Fill them, physically look around the edges to see if there's any wetness or water. Now, if there is, of course you're going to have an issue if you don't change them soon. You don't want them to pop on you. Now, a good thing this customer, they caught it early. They had an older line laying around, so they switched it out. Okay, some basic steps to go ahead and change out your supply lines is, first of all, make sure your angle stops work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and shut both angle stops off. If you have a problem here, don't go any further. You can call me or any licensed plumber to get some more information about the valves, and we'll even go over that another day with a different topic. So you shut them down. And then I'm gonna go ahead, scoot your unit out. Give yourself plenty of working room. Sometimes you may have to pull your drain line, sometimes you don't. I have enough here. Now, very important, grab yourself a nice pair of pliers, or better yet, channel locks. Buying a pair of these for the household will save you from a lot of pinched fingers with regular pliers. It's always a great idea to keep a rag close by. Now sometimes they'll be on there just hand tight. I got that one right off, hand tight, no problem. Like I said, you always get a little water. Keep a rag with you. All right, this line here, it's getting old. And it's a good rule of thumb, even if you don't have problems, if they're older than 10 years old, it's cheap insurance to buy yourself a new set of lines and replace them. We're at the back of the unit. We've actually given ourselves a little bit more space. Just make sure you don't stress any of the lines. This is as far as I want to pull the unit apart from the wall. So now you can see here's the back of your flexible lines. Here's the old original one. Here's the aftermarket one. But I'm gonna switch them as a brand new set. Now, the back of the fittings are plastic, so you got to be a little bit careful on the back here, not to over tighten when you install the new ones. Now, I may have a little water here. We're just going to get rid of that. Okay, get rid of those for a moment. Now, when you get your new supply lines, they're actually like hose bib threads on each side. In other words, the threads would actually hook up to like a garden hose, because this is almost like a garden hose fitting. So, very important, even though it's a brand new line and you just opened it up and uncoiled it, make sure you check that both rubbers are on each side. This is what people forget all the time to inspect, and they install them, and the first thing you know it, they have a major leak. Something very simple that gets overlooked all the time. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and install our cold, and like I said, be very careful. These are plastic nipples coming out of the back of the unit. Now, you do want to snug them up, but you don't want to break them. Nice and snug. All right. Now they're color coordinated. Now remember, your hot's normally on your left if it's plumbed correctly. So this point here, this was the cold line. So we're gonna hook this up to the cold side. Once again, make sure your rubber O-ring is inside. Now, they should be more than tight enough, hand tight, but I always like to give it one little snug, and I always hold the top of the valve for a backup. Give them a little snug. That way you don't have to worry. And basically, repeat for the hot side, and we'll show you how to go through that again. Okay, we're gonna repeat the process again, but as you can see, most importantly, I'm uncoiling it and I am checking. Both O-rings are in there. Make sure you don't cross thread these. You cross thread them, you're in trouble. You'll basically be buying a brand new washer unit, and that's where a lot of people kind of mess things up, over torque it, or crack something right here. And you don't want to do that. Here we go. Check the O-ring. Hold top of your valve. Give it a little snug for a backup. Okay. Everything's tight, tight, tight. I like to straighten my lines out a little bit. These swivel on a swivel fitting. And let's check for leaks. Here we go. They're both on, and we just talked you through replacing your brand new supply lines. Now, if you have any questions and you need help at home doing it yourself, you can always call me. I'd be more than happy to talk you through it. But if you need our service, feel free to call. Have a great day.